He is one of the respectable Africans. He was once the head of United Nations. Today we want to discuss what we consider 3 secrets of Kofi Annan. You are welcome back. My name is Steve O'Courage. By 3 secrets, we mean things we can learn from Kofi Annan. In other words, we mean things that make him exceptional. The way of thinking, value, mindset that makes him successful while others in the world are failing. The reason why we are doing that is because we believe if we can pick 1 or 2 things from people who have become successful, that can help us in a long way to help us to become successful. Now, the number 1 secret is going to come from his quotation, and here is it. We need to keep hope alive and strive to do better. Now, listen, life is not easy, and it's not about to be easy. Now, most of the times, there's going to be a whole lot of things that will discourage you in your path to success. What is the way out? Keep the hope alive. You know, I remember in my life, I had a whole lot of terrible years. My first section of terrible years was the fact that I was born sickly. So I had to spend the first 17 years of my life as a sickly boy who had to get sick like 2 times every month. And each of the time would last about 5 to 6 days, which means I was spending about half of my entire year on the sick bed. It was terrible, but I had a mother who always told me, Steve, until we get to the end of this, we just have to keep on trying. And that, encouraged me all along. And the second part of my tough life happened, with my own decision. You see, when I was 21 and 6 months, I decided that I was going to be an entrepreneur, though I was born by poor parents, and everybody in my family thought I was crazy because they expected me to finish education, which to me, it wasn't education. It is just, nonsense schooling, which gives you nonsense paper, course certificate, and that does nothing to your life. Now, because of this disobedience, I have to go through another 7 years of horror. But in all this, I kept on encouraging myself. Yeah, I had a goal, I had a dream, I had a vision of where I was going. No matter what happened to me, yeah, you can cry, you can get sad for a moment, but always keep the future ahead of you. That will keep you alive, even when things are not so easy for you. Now, from Kofi Annan, this must be one of the things that have made his life exceptional. For him to think, we have a goal and we just have to strive, keep on striving, just like that biblical Gideon. At a point, the Bible says Gideon was pursuing, he was pursuing the enemy. The boys around him were exhausted, but they kept on, the Bible says, they kept on trying, they kept on pursuing. Now, that must be the way we see life as Africans. You mustn't be somebody, a lot of Africans actually make this mistake. By the time they fail once, twice, they started thinking it is one of their village's wishes and wizards or whatever. I have a friend who has failed in 2 businesses. And he was telling me about a few weeks ago that the reason why he failed was that enemy, or wishes or wizard, whatever. That is African for you. Not knowing that life is a way of, testing you, making things difficult for you to really know maybe you are qualified to have the success. So learn this from Kofi Annan and, change your perspective about life. We have to strive even when things are difficult. The second thing I consider the secret, or one of the things that make Kofi Annan an exceptional African, is education is the premise of progress. And now, I have to explain this because so many people, when they hear the word education, university, polytechnic, high school is what comes to their mind. I'm sorry, those are not education. Those are, in most part, brainwashing. And this is my opinion. I'm not sure you're going to agree with me, but most of the things you are taught in school are not going to take you anywhere. It's just like, geography, this is how the world looks. Mathematics, 1 + 1 is 2, and whatever, x + 1, all those things are good fundamentally, especially when you are still young. When you are 3 years old, you are 4 years, or you are 2 years, it is still good for you to learn all those, all those things. At least you understand how to do simple arithmetics, and you understand how the world works and all things like that. But when you are an adult, I'm telling you, most of the things school is going to teach you will take you nowhere. Now, real education, education that make people successful, is about what do I want to do with my life? I want to be a writer. Who are those who have become great writers in the area I'm interested in? Okay, Mr. So, Mr. X, Mr. D, Mrs. D. Okay, how did they become great in their field? Have they written some books I can learn from? Then you start studying. Okay, I want to become an entrepreneur. Okay, who has become entrepreneur that I can learn from? All right, none of them is around me. Okay, I think if I go to bookshop, I could see some great business books. And see, you are going to see thousands of that from people who have lived before us, from people who are living now, from people who have gone far, far, even before we were born. Then you start learning. You start learning. Then first thing is your mindset starts, changing from who you are to who you want to be. Then the way you think, the way you see life, start changing. That is when you are getting education. And most of the times, you have to do this on your own. Nobody is going to tell you what to study, what to read. You have to be the one who think, I should study this because I want to become this. Not because somebody in school is teaching you how to become an accountant. Well, that is good, provided you want to work as an accountant for the rest of your life. But I'm talking about people who achieve greatness here. People who achieve greatness educate themselves, not from an institution. That is my point anyway. Now, education, according to Kofi Annan, education is the premise of progress. So if you want to change your life, go and change your education. That is, if you want something to change in your life, just go get education. And I'm not saying go back to university, all right? I run away from school because I know much of the things we were taught there are jargons. They are nonsense to me. So now, I wouldn't advise you to go back to university because you want to get education. Don't go. But go to the nearest bookshop. Just look at an area where you are having problems. Are you having problems financially? Go pick up at least 5 books on money, on business. And before you finish them, you start seeing that you were actually stupid. Because you start learning new things that nobody in the world has ever told you. Are you having problem with your marriage? Go get education. Go to the nearest bookshop, pick up at least 5 books and start reading them. Are you having problem in your health? Go pick up some good books that could help you. These days, you may not even buy them. Go to YouTube, go to Google, type whatever, learn. If you want to progress in your life, go ahead and get education. The third secret of Kofi Annan, which is going to be taken again from his quotation, is we cannot wait for government to do it all. Now, we cannot emphasize this enough in the continent of Africa. I see so many people who are irresponsible. And unfortunately, they are irresponsible about, their personal life. And why do I call them irresponsible? They are folding their hands, expecting government to solve their personal problems. Now, get it very, very correctly. Government can solve national problems, not your personal problems. And I'm going to explain that. Now, if we have a better government, we can have a better electricity. But that still will not solve your problem. If we have a better government, we could have better roads. That still will not solve your problem. You think it will, but it won't. If we have a better government, maybe we could have a better economy. But you know something? Even in better economy, most people in every country of the world are still poor. That is the point. Go to the US, go to the UK, whatever. Most people in those countries, most people are still very, very much poor. So now, it is not about what government does here. It's about what you are willing to do for yourself. So now, if you are expecting government to come and solve your, I was speaking with one of my friends who happened to be civil servant, and his hope is that Nigeria government has promised them that they are going to bring up new minimum wages. And that has been the promise for the past 3 years, and this guy is still expecting that. And that is what he's planning his entire life on. Federal government has promised that the minimum wage is going to be 59 or 60, whatever thousand. And that is what he's waiting for. Oh, I'm sorry. If that is what you are waiting for, you don't have a life. Because why? Even when government come up with whatever new minimum wages, which they promise you, it will still not be enough for you to live your life. The only thing that could be enough for you is, your ability to create more than enough for you and your family, which is about you. It's not about the government. It's about you. Now, we have to round this off. Let's revise all these three, one after the other. First, education is very important. And when we talk about education here, don't mix it up. It is not about school. So many Africans are proud. I'm a PhD holder. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your certificate. I don't have any certificate in my life because I run away from school. I decided not to take my certificate when I was running. Now, and I have done great things with my life that most people will only dream of. I have been to different places and met different people that, well, most people in the world will only dream of such things. So life doesn't have anything to do with paper that school give you and course certificate. Forget that for a moment. Now, it's about education. It's about what you learn. Now, second thing is you have to be willing to strive through the journey of life. It is difficult, but you have to be strong enough to fight through it. The third thing is forget it. Government is not going to help you except you help yourself. Now, thank you so much for being part of this video. I'm Steve O. Courage. My purpose is to challenge you and make your life better as an African. This channel is about Africans. Now, if you're an African, before you go, make sure you subscribe to this channel. After that, turn on the notification. Then, download my free business book. It is called 13 Secrets School Did Not Teach You About How to Be Rich. I wrote this book after I spent couple of years in the business world to show you certain secrets school will never teach you about business. So don't miss it. Download it right below this video. Love you.